2020 year. Remember, I'm available to you throughout the fall. All right. So if you feel that these sessions have been worthwhile and you need someone to walk with your student, or you believe as a student, hey, I would like to continue this conversation, kind of walk with me through this remote learning experience, this COVID-19 situation, through academics, helping me stay disciplined and being obedient to what I've been called to do. I can help. I can help. I've been in higher ed for 20 years. And I've worked at 3 premier small private institutions, so I'm used to engaging with students and helping them matriculate to graduation. So I've been an advisor, a co-curricular advisor. I've been an adjunct faculty member. I've been a college football coach. I've been a lot of different things and have worn a lot of different hats in higher education. I've been at the president's table. I've helped with recruitment and retention. I've helped with curriculum reform. So I bring a wealth of knowledge to help your student really understand the culture of higher education. So I just wanted to do that little resume plug so that you understand that I am someone that can help you along your journey. Again, my name is Dr. T. Leon Williams. Here's all my contact information. Although this is our last summer session, because many college students are headed off this week or next, really excited about what I can do for you in the fall. No matter if you're in high school or college, the structure that's needed in the season that we're in as a country and as a world, you're going to need some coaching, because it's going to be a unique situation for many high school and college students. And so a different approach is warranted. And so I can help you with that, at least get some bumpers around your thinking, help you massage some of your thoughts on how to approach this from a best practices standpoint, so that we can all be successful here this upcoming school year. So, got a few slides. Remember, all of these sessions were meant to introduce some concepts and strategies and methods to help you become successful in high school or college. I didn't cover the entire book. I took bits and pieces that I thought would be relevant. And so we're approaching kind of the midway point of the semester. It's about midterms time. And so what I usually advise students around this time is to do an assessment of their emotional intelligence, okay? Emotional intelligence is managing your emotions. So whenever I'm advising students or coaching students along, I would tell them to check off what word that best describes them now. Not when you begin the semester, not when you were at home, but what are you experiencing right now? And let's talk about it. And now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a licensed professional counselor. So here's the important piece. Whatever you are experiencing right now, remember, I'm hypothetically saying we're kind of in the midpoint of the semester. We're approaching midterms. So whatever you are experiencing at that time, I want you to understand there's help for you. Okay? Person like myself, I'm someone you have the initial conversation with, but we need to get you to some professional help, okay? So you don't tackle these things alone. Emotional intelligence is your ability to manage your emotions. So you may feel alone. You may feel that you're pressured. You may feel that you're being ignored. It's 6 to 7 weeks in the semester. You have gained friends and lost friends. Relationships, girlfriend, boyfriend, you've broken up, gotten back together. You realize I'm not doing as well in the classroom as I would like, etc. There's all kind of different ways to evaluate this point of the semester. But the most important piece is, how are you doing? How are you doing? You could be happy, all right? You could feel like you're connected. Don't be ashamed of having a great semester. Those things need to be talked about as well. Oftentimes, higher education is guilty of supporting those who fall at the bottom of of the barrel, if you will, and not addressing the top. And what happens eventually is the top lose motivation because no one is paying attention to them. Because we educate the middle and we educate the bottom, and we leave alone the top. Okay? So in this exercise, you would come in and you would just talk to me about the things you checked off, and we would have a casual conversation about it. So important that you get this thing addressed or out. Okay? It's good vending, if you will, to just get it out, that you can vent and share those things with someone, a professional. All right? If you are a remote learner and you're not on campus this fall, okay, and you're at home, the rules still apply. Find someone to talk to about what you're experiencing. I'm being very serious. If it's not a parent because you think that conversation is going to go in the wrong direction or a different direction, find someone you can confide in. Okay? We don't want you to walk through this new season of academia by yourself, feeling alone, feeling confused, and not doing well. We want you to know that we're full support all the way behind you on everything you need. So it's so important that you have a conversation about emotional intelligence, your ability and how you're doing managing your emotions. All right? Now, situational awareness. We're switching gears a little bit. Okay? Situational awareness is just being aware of the environment that you're currently in. How that environment influences your ability to think and to learn. Okay? So here's some questions, just some prompts to just generate a conversation. What have you learned about your professor? 7-8 weeks into the semester, you should have a scouting report, if you will, for my student athletes on your professor. Likes the lecture, use a lot of slides, doesn't use the book very much, like pop quizzes, like have given tests, but he only gives 2 a semester. You should know from 7 to 8 weeks into the semester, you should have a scouting report on your professor. Okay? What have you learned about yourself? After this amount of time, you should have a strong understanding on how you best learn. Okay? I'm a visual learner. I like things on a board. I like mapping. I like seeing pictures and images. Okay? You may find out I really don't like to read. I really don't like to read. You may find out I don't highlight. Okay? These are real conversation and truthful conversations with yourself. But after 7 to 8 weeks in the semester, these are necessary conversations that you must have because we're approaching midterms. And usually this is what I want you to understand. Even though the semester on a lot of college campuses have moved up and everybody trying to get everyone off campus before Thanksgiving due to COVID or anticipated flu or spike in tests, etc. Whatever the case. You have to understand, after midterms, the semester goes really, 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 really fast. Okay? And you would be surprised, okay? Because out of 15 weeks in the semester, 1 week is dedicated to final exams in the end. The week before that is when everybody get a break and you should be studying or handing in papers or doing a presentation. So after week 8, when you may be thinking in your mind, I got 7 weeks, you really only have 5. Because 2 weeks, remember, a week of final exams and a week before final exams, papers, presentations, and what people a lot reading day, reading week, where they give students a chance to study. So you really, after midterms, only have 5 weeks left. This is what you have to understand about the culture of higher education. Difficult, obviously, for first-year students because you haven't went through it. But I'm trying to help you. At midterms, bank on 5 weeks of really impacting your grade. Okay? So, situational awareness, very important. First, where we started was emotional intelligence. Okay? just to see where we're at, and then we got to ask ourselves some tough questions. Okay, let's move on. Now, one of my favorite topics. Okay, the influence, right, of social media. The influence of social media. This image has a lot of things on it, right? You may be guilty of participating in these things. You may have not. Our daughter, East Carolina University, senior, graduate in this winter. Listen, she loves Netflix. I don't have a problem with loving Netflix. But there has to be a balance when watching Netflix. There has to be a balance. You can't have a schedule for studying and doing homework and abandon that schedule because the new series on Stranger Things have come out. And you're going to binge watch the entire series. You have to understand, social media is a great platform, a great outlet for many things. But if it influences your studying, your scheduling, your planning, then we need to rethink our involvement and participation or connectedness and commitment to social media. All right? This will pull you away. If you're a high school student, you're going to college for the first time, and they say, yes, we're going to have you guys come to campus, and you get to campus, and you're a cell phone, Netflix, text message, Twitter, whatever type of social media that you gravitate to, listen, you're going to struggle in the first few weeks trying to detach and separate yourself from social media and do the academic work. My generation, we didn't have none of this. So my brain was not competing with social media and writing a paper. My brain was not competing with following up on a text message or a tweet or what somebody posted when I'm trying to study for my midterms. So I want you to understand, these are the things that pull you away. They are distractions if not managed correctly. Okay? So here's some questions that I just want you to think about. Which item or items poses the greatest threat to your academic success? Think about that. Which item or items, which social media outlet poses the greatest threat to your academic success? Which item or items consume most of your free time? You have to understand, we said in week 1 that it takes about 30 to 35 study hours a week. This is research for students to achieve a 3.2 and above. All right? That's research. So understand, of those 30 to 35 hours a week, how many of those 30 to 35 are you devoting to social media? You start with a text message. Now you're into a thread. Now other people are invited to the conversation. And before you know it, you have text for more than 30 minutes. And you're in the library and you're supposed to be writing a paper. Now, here's what happens. You're sitting in the library. You've been texting to your friends, group, etc. Now you're saying, brain, I need you to change gears and I need you to focus and give me your best peak performance in writing this paper. Here's the problem. The brain is, well, what we do often is chat. I am, post, repost, share, comment, like. So the brain now only functions in this vacuum. So what happens is when the brain functions in this vacuum, now you're trying to tell the brain, I need you to think higher. I need you to perform on a higher level. And the brain is like, no, that's not what I am accustomed to doing. I use broken language when I text. I don't use periods. I don't use commas. I don't use any punctuation. And one of the things that's disheartening for any institution is when their students write a paper and they realize, oh, our students can't write. Well, where do you practice that? Because text messaging and all the things in social media is broken English. It's abbreviations. It's acronyms. So you have to understand, you're asking the brain to perform at a higher level with no practice. If you're an athlete out there, and you and I both know, unless you're super gifted, and even a super gifted practice, there's no way you can get the brain to perform at a higher level without teaching the brain the endurance needed, holding the capacity to perform at a higher level. You can't go from text messaging to writing a research paper. Very few people can do that. Why? The brain just doesn't transfer over language like that. And so we don't have language to start a paragraph. We don't have language to do the body of our paper. We don't have language to know how to properly cite our sources and so on and so forth, and do a research paper and close the paper out. We don't have that skill set because on our phone, we limit ourselves with abbreviations in broken English. And it's so important. And here's the thing. I tell students, it's not that I don't want you to do those things, but they have to be managed correctly. There has to be a balance with social media and your homework. And I just spilled out the reason why. I want your brain to get the exercise of thinking on higher levels. How can you do a presentation if you don't even have the language, the articulation, and the eloquence of speech to present the information? Why? You talk, you type, you text in broken English. What else are you putting into your brain that's going to help build your vocabulary? People don't even spell the whole word when they text. That's the culture that you're in. I've used text messages as well, okay? And I do a lot of those things like you do. But I'm taking in greater information by reading books, scholarly articles. So you have to understand, I have to feed myself scholarly information to keep my language, my mind, my thinking, and my writing sharp. All right? Here's a question. How much time is devoted to these items? I just gave you an example. You start emailing, text messaging, and you're in the library, you need a drink, you need a snack. Before you know it, you've been in the library an hour and you haven't even started your research paper. And here's what happens. Psychologically, through behavior, you sit down and write a paper, and it's a 5-page paper, but your attention span doesn't last that long. Why? You're so used to interruptions from different conversations on social media. So when you need to focus on a thing, you can't. Because what's going to happen, you start writing your paper, you're already struggling to come up with some language that sounds like you're a college student, and then here's what happened. You check your phone. You check your phone again. Nobody responding. Nobody texting. No one posting. No one doing the TikTok video. See, you're wired for the disruption. So your body is used to, we only go 30, 40 seconds before we need something different. That's why many of us can flip through our phone, watch a video, flip to the next one, watch a video, flip to the next one. And then when you have to write a paper, you don't have the capacity, the endurance, the strength to do so, because the brain is like, wait, we don't do this. We usually looking at 30-second, 45-second videos, a minute at the most, and then we flip to the next one. So you have to understand how social media is impacting your world. Are any of these items hindering your progress? Here's the thing. We don't know until we start failing. I want to get in front of that conversation because I want you to know that it is a struggle, okay, if it's not managed well. It will create obstacles for you that you never imagined. And you will say, well, the class is hard, or my professor, or I can't do this remote learning thing. I need to be in the classroom. The truth of the matter is this, and I'm going to be very frank with you. Students around the world, the ones who are going to excel are the ones who demonstrate discipline, exemplify discipline, monitor discipline, the households that promote discipline, the behaviors in the household that perpetuate discipline. That is who is going to be successful. It won't be about how smart you are. It's going to be about how disciplined you are. To get up every day at the hour you should get up. In North Carolina, they're talking first class for high school students is 7:15 in the morning. To get up, still in summer mode, because I stay at home. I'm at home. So you have to get a schedule and a regiment around the household, parents. They say, you got to go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock because you got to get up, get something in your stomach, and be online by 7 a.m. or 7:15 for your first class, your first block. So it's going to take some discipline. Not being online, sleep with your head down. Energize. Here's the best time, high school students, for you to be a college student. Because it's going to take accountability for you to be disciplined enough to get up and do what you have to do without your parents worrying. Because parents may have to go to work. Every household is going to be different, right? Some parents are going to have to go to work. Some parents are going to be able to flex their schedule, pull in a grandparent or auntie or community person, leader. Listen, it's going to be different. But you need to have discipline. You won't have time for social media. Here's the thing that scared me. No one is there to tell you to get off your phone. That's scary. So you're going to have to be disciplined to put your phone away. I had my son do a presentation 2 weeks ago. And what he explained is, and what we built in and said, okay, while you're in class, this was in the spring when COVID just really cranked up in the United States. While you're doing your homework, no phone. In between classes, once you finish your math, now take your phone, have 10 minutes. It's just like a college campus, like you change in classes, and or in a high school, walk into another class, you still follow the schedule. Build in those 10 minutes to get all of that. Let me answer these text messages. Let me respond to the group. Let me check out this video. 10 minutes. And then you're in the block 2. You got to get back to the computer, folks. We can't just sit around and stay on the phone. You're going to have so much discipline. That is who is going to be successful this fall. All right? I didn't mean to beat you down. I just wanted to point out to you, social media is a great thing if used correctly. All right? Here we go. It's midterm time. All right? Midterm requires some type of preparation. Most students just go into midterm. They don't ask the right questions to their professor. Is this a cumulative test, midterm test, meaning everything from week 1 all the way to week 8 is going to be on the test, okay? Or is it the last 2 weeks that we've been in class, okay? But there is a preparation needed that I have found to be very successful for students. Social preparation. Minimize your role in your organization to accomplish your goals. Whether you're a remote learner or on campus, this is the time to minimize distractions because the goal is to do well for midterms. For some people, remember, it's only 5 weeks after midterm plus a study week plus finals themselves. So midterm is a make and break for some students because you don't have a lot of time to bring your grade up. So I recommend minimize your role in your organization. Okay. Number 3, balance your time to include rest. Proper rest. Because here's what happens on a college campus, high school students. Most students run to the library. Library is going to be different because everybody ain't going to be able to be in there. Okay? Spread out. It's going to be totally different. Capacity. And once they reach capacity, you have to find somewhere else to study. Balance your time to include rest. I noticed in my 20 years of higher ed, during midterms and finals, nurses that I were colleagues with, they had a different level of stress during midterms and final exams because students took care of themselves the worst, meaning they crammed and procrastinated, okay, pull all-nighters, and the body and the immune system broke down. So what happens is, since I'm not really prepared, okay, I cram it in, I pull all-nighters, I drink all the sodas, and my body says, I'm just tired. I'm just done. And so what happens, they end up at the health center getting checked out for all these different type of colds and flu and sickness or vomiting, etc. Whatever it is. You have to develop a great schedule of rest week 1, not week 8. And you have to respect it. Here's discipline again. You have to respect that schedule all the way through. Don't be distracted by the culture most universities take. You're going to see it. If you're on campus, you're going to see people going to be scrambling, all-nighters, printers, frustrated, computers not working, my paper couldn't print, all kind of chaos. But those who are working all semester long, you'll be at ease during this time of the year. Time of the semester. Because you've already taken the proper steps to prepare yourself. Part of preparing yourself is getting those 8 hours of sleep. Gotta have it. Let's grind in the morning. Let's grind in the afternoon. Let's grind in the evening. But at night, we have to get rest. Because you're no good to any classroom. You're no good taking any test completely exhausted, headache, distracted, not feeling well, on medication, a medication that may make you sleepy. Okay, so social preparation, physical preparation, exercise. People may think, exercise. Why would I want to exercise? Exercise is gonna make me tired. Actually, you get tired, but it builds up some strength and endurance. And if you put rest with exercise and eating properly and getting away from the chips and the snacks and the sodas, you'll see your body respond better to whatever you're putting your body through to get through midterm week. So exercise regularly. You can't just jump up on week 8 and say, I'm going to start exercising. You can, but look, let me help you. Week 1, develop a regimen. Add 5 minutes to your walk every time. Walk for 5 minutes, go back to the room. Next day, next week, 10 minutes. If you do that all the way up until week 8, you'll build yourself up to an hour of walking. And the brain and the body will respond by understanding this is my Sabbath. This is my relief. This is where I catch my breath. This is where I regroup. Okay? Other midterm preparation. Emotional preparation. Do not neglect your feelings. Number 2 there. Do not neglect your feelings. I am stressed out. You can't just sit there and say, well, my mind playing tricks on me. No, you may be stressed out. Don't neglect that. Get the help that you need. I can't emphasize that enough. All right? Intellectual preparation. Know your strengths and underdevelopments. Know what you do well in each class and know your underdevelopments in each class. I don't like using the word weakness. Underdevelopment, because that gives us a more positive connotation that things can be achieved. Okay? For each class, you should know what you're good at and what you need to work on. Okay? You should have an understanding. Remember the scouting report for your professor? So you should know what's coming on the test and the style of how your professor tests you. Okay? Oftentimes, colleges are generous enough to give you a midterm study guide. They're giving it to you. Most of the information on the study guide is going to be on the test. So there's no reason. You have to just go do the work. So there's an intellectual preparation that is necessary. Make a calendar of planning. Go in your planner. Make a separate calendar for how you're going to approach midterm week. It'll bless you, I promise you. Make a separate calendar. You made a calendar for the semester. Now, inside this midterm week, what are you going to do every day? And make that your sole purpose and priority. As if you're starting college all over for midterm week. I got 3 midterms, 2 papers to write. Cool. That's 3 tests, 2 papers. I'm making a schedule on how I'm going to approach every test and the 2 papers. When I need to have a draft completed, submitted for review, and when I need to be done with studying, and when I need to go back and review studying. All of that need to be written on a piece of paper so you can understand and tell yourself, I'm taking this serious, I'm committed to what I'm writing down, I'm devoted to it, and I'm going to be successful. You have to coach yourself up, all right? What other preparation? Spiritual preparation. Whether you pray or you meditate, all right? Deepen your personal values. Get reconnected to yourself. College going to challenge you and stretch you and expose you and introduce to you a lot of things. This is the time we reconnect. We turn the light inward and we begin to examine ourselves. All right? Midterm week is not necessarily just the halfway point of the semester. It's a chance to start back over because this is your second fight throughout the semester. First fight was week 1 through 8. Your second fight is midterms. Okay? Occupational preparation. Limit your work if you have to work. And I understand that because students have to work, make money, help pay for things, help their parents out. I totally get it. But this is not the week to add hours. This is not the week to pick up more work. This is not the week to even look for a job. This is the week that you actually pull back. Pull back from your groups, your organizations, your fraternities, your sororities, your affinity groups. Pull back from your work in the community, your work on campus. Pull back. I used to tell students all the time, at the end of the day, if you flunk out, all of your friends, they stay here. And because of social media, they'll still hit you up as if you're walking on campus. Life will go on for them. Take care of yourself. All right? Last slide. Okay. So those were our midterm preparation things. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. As a deep reflection on your learning at this part of the semester. Okay? Just a quick exercise, almost a one-pager, if you will. Here are some of the prompts. At this point in the semester, knowing what you have learned about yourself, what is it that you want to say to yourself? And you can be honest to yourself. I've disappointed myself. I've actually been impressed by how I've responded. Remote learning, being at home, being on time, signing in the Zoom call on time, okay? Who are you becoming? I'm proud of what I have become. I can tell from high school to college I've grown up a little bit, okay? This is a personal reflection exercise to help you during this midterm week. Just take a step back and say, you know what? I've done really well. I'm proud of myself. I'm glad and proud of what I have achieved. Now, I'm excited to finish the race strong. What's the purpose of the first 200 if you don't have the back 200? Okay? I want you to finish the race strong. So this personal reflection is important. Last question. Are you enjoying your accomplishments? We want, parents want, professors want, administrators want, high school students, teachers want, administrators want. They want you to enjoy this experience. Maybe before midterm week, you take yourself out for ice cream. Treat yourself. Go shopping, buy a shirt or some shoes or some pants or whatever. Whatever it is, are you enjoying your accomplishment? This is not meant for you to look down on life or to fall into your sunken place or to fall into a depression. You have made it to college. You've earned the right to be in college. You've worked hard to get to where you're at. I want you to be proud about where you're at. I want you to get the help and support you need. I can help you. I want to help you. Allow me to help you. So this has been a great summer session. We've done this for 6 weeks for those who are just now tuning in. And again, I'll make myself available in the fall to walk with your student and to help them all the way through the 15 weeks. Even if you get to college and you realize this is a little bit over my head, I'm a little overwhelmed, then here's what you simply do. You contact me and you say, hey, Mr. Williams, Dr. Williams, I need your help. I watched some of the video in the summer, but I didn't realize how much, excuse me, that I was going to need your help. Doesn't matter. We can pick up at any point of the semester. All right. This program, the book, is geared to do that. So I want to be able to help you at any point in the semester. Like always, if you have questions, type them in. I'm going through all of my emails tonight, and I'm going to see what questions that I missed or overlooked. Okay. And I'm going to respond to you. If you need help, don't hesitate. Okay. This is a tough season that we're in. Very challenging. Very different. They call it the new normal, etc. Here's what I know, because all those other things are unpredictable. What I do know is that we can prepare to be the best student that we can be. That is what you do control. You do have influence over. You can master being a great student. The world around you may keep spinning, but for you, I want you centered so that you can be still and just grow. All right? I hope this has been a blessing to you. It's been a blessing to me. Thank you. I'm humble every time, every year that I do these workshops and sessions. So again, if you need me, just reach out to me. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and God bless.